Hey guys, this is Danitissima and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you're new here. I do basically modding tutorials and such on here. So if you're interested in that, please keep on watching. And I've been gone for a while. I just honestly haven't had the time to record. So I'm hoping this video won't be as long because I'm actually recording like almost midnight. But like I said, I've been so busy. But I decided to do this one quickly for you guys because I got a request for it recently in regards to updating your mod after you've created it, and Sims 4 has released like a patch, and it's one of those patches that's like breaking stuff and like, oh my god, what can I do to fix my mod? So this is for people who have already created the mod and now they just need help with maintaining the mod. So yeah. So let's just get started. Okay, so to start off and to break it down is some patch days when Sims 4 release patches or EA release patches. Some of them break the mods, some of them don't, or some of them break stuff that the mods depend on. So I'm just gonna show you guys how I go through patch day. It might not be the way other people do it, but this is the way I personally do it. If it's a patch where it's like not a lot got broken, it's easy to explain. If it's a patch where it's like, oh my god, script files have been broken, oh my god, what do I do? That one might be a bit harder if you don't know what you're doing with script files. So I'm gonna try to explain it as easily as I can. So instead of panicking when it's patch day, like a lot of people do, I have a method that I follow like to a T. It took me a while to master it. I was a mess with it, but so I'm gonna show you guys how I update all my mods because I have a lot whenever this Sims 4 updates. So let's get started. Okay, so why do mods break sometimes after a patch update? So it could be something as simple as Sims 4 realized that, or the developers at EA realized that they spelled something wrong. Yeah, it's literally simple as that. So for example, an example of something that broke was when I feel like it was beginning of the year or so, Sims they released a patch, and in that patch they changed a spelling mistake because they spelled adventure wrong. I know, adventure, but because other people have been using the XML with the wrong spelling, it broke people's mods. So then people had to then go back and basically rewrite the adventure thing that was going on, and after that it was just fixed. So something as simple as a spelling mistake can break a mod. In regards to script files, recently in the most recent patch they changed the way injection work. So because of the pack selection tool, so that with older mods that are using older scripts, they had to then use the new way that EA has done it, and it was quite quick and easy to figure out which way EA did it, and people were able to fix it. So some of them might be complicated, some of them might not be. It depends on what EA decided to fix that day. So what happens when the patch fix break and you guys go into your game, if you play with your game, you will realize that you have maybe lax exception, for example, and you're popping up with errors, or interactions are failing, or stuff like that. So that is some of the things that can happen during like patch fixes, or people are trying to load into the game, they can't because of your mods. Not every single patch breaks everything. I just want to let you guys know that. Sometimes I go into my game with my mod after a patch and it works fine. Sometimes EA doesn't even disable mods, and everything works fine. So it's just not as panicky as people make it out to be. One of the ways I do it, so I'm going to show you guys my workflow at the moment. So first thing first, let me just open up my mods folder. Right now my Sims 4 mods folder's got all my mods in because I'm currently playing my game. So I'm just going to show you guys like a little makeshift one. So this is not an actual Sims 4 folder. This is just one I just randomly did to show you guys how my workflow looks. So with mod, when it comes to a mod day, what I do is I will have like a new folder. For example, I will put my mod tests like so, and then I'll put all my mods in there. Okay, so this is obviously clearly not all my mods, but this is just an example of what I do. So I'll put all my mods in there. I will take out any other mods in my mods folder. So this is my current mods, but I take everything out because with patch updates, a few things other people's mods might break. If you have their mods in and you have your mods in, you don't know what you're testing for, so you need to put your mod in, and then anything else that's depending on your mod. For example, my mods use lot 51 core, for example, so I'm gonna copy that and then I'm gonna put that there. Or also my mods also use Lumpinos mood pack, as well. And then something else I put in there that rarely breaks, like rarely breaks, I leave in my MC command center, because I can use that to, if I get an Elasticseception, that will show me. So this is basically what is inside my mods folder during patch day. So when patch day happens, I take all of these out and I leave this for inside. So one of the things is, in a recent patch, Lot 51 Core broke. So while I was obviously going in to try to see what broke my game, what in my what in my mods could have broken, I couldn't do that because Lot 51 wasn't working. So there are some patches where you have to wait for dependent mods to update. If you, for example, if you use XML injector, for example, where's my XML injector? So if you use XML injector and it breaks, you have to wait for that to update before you can then test your mods, which is very easy to understand. But if none of these break, you can then obviously go into your game with this bare minimum. Another thing I also use, let me just show you guys, is something called the tuning error notifier. I have explained this in my first video, my first ever modding video. That was such a long time ago. And I still very much use it. So obviously you get it from the Scumbrumbles mods website. You download it. You don't need to worry about when it was updated, guys. I'm going to show you guys how to do it in case you don't want to go back into the previous video. So you extract the zip file and you get, this is what you're going to have. This is what you're going to use to test your game. So you copy that and you post it in, you put that into your mod folder. But before you can do that, you would need to extract this, because right now it's not going to do anything for you mod wise. So you need to go to rename and change it into a zip file like so, and then you need to open it. Don't extract it, guys, just open it. Don't like extract it, you have no reason to, just open it like so, and then go inside. Okay, so once you've extracted, you now need to open this init file, init.py, not the pyc. The pyc won't open. It has to be the py file. Use whatever software you want to open this. I use VS Studio Code. Why do I do that? I use Visual Studio Code to open my Python files. If you have PyCharm, you can use that as well. So to do this, just drag this out like so, and then open it. So I'm going to open a Visual VS Code. So this is what it looks like. Don't panic, okay, guys, don't panic. I'm going to explain. You do not touch this. You do not need to touch any of this. What you need to do is this. This is the only part you need to touch. So in here, you put in what is it that you're looking for in your mods that you want this to search for. So what the tuning editor, what the tuning error notifier does is, if you put, for example, I usually just put Dantesimo this way, because let me open Sims 4 Studio, one of my mods in Sims 4 Studio, show you guys. I use that because all of my mods, why is Sims 4 updating right now? Sims 4 Studio updating. All of my tuning files start with Dantesimo. So it would then filter through every single mod that starts, every single tuning XML file that starts with Dantesimo or that has Dantesimo inside it. Okay, so an example, let's say my proposal planner now. So like I said, every single tuning name has Dantesimo at the start of it. So this way is gonna go through every single mod of mine that's inside this mod folder, this mod test folder, and it's gonna search through every single tuning that has Dantesimo in the name. So it's gonna go through all of them to search for every single thing. So I use Dantesimo simply because I wanted to search for everything. If there's some reason I want to search for something small, I could just put, I don't know, let me just look at one of these. This, for example, I could put all of this, or I could just put something like this here, and then when it goes in, it will search for any tuning that has this in the name. So be careful with this. If you have any of, you never know if any other model out there as this, so you can obviously search for the whole thing, which would be ideal, like search like this. So now what it would do when you go back into game, and I'll show you how you guys can do that, is once you go back into game, now it's going to specifically look for this name only because that's what you wanted it to search for. And it will look in here to see if you have any tuning errors. So that's what's going to help you find. It's going to be like, what in here could be an error? What in here has changed from the recent patch? Yeah, simple as. So like I said, I use Dynasimo because I want to search for anything. Obviously, it doesn't have to be just one. All you have to just put a comma, put another, put another one like so. Search for what if you have something else you want to search for. I don't know. Let me just put scum pump. I don't know what else to search for. You can put something like that, and you can just keep on going for however long you want to do this for. So yeah, like I said, I searched for Dynasimo. Once you've done this, obviously if there's something you want to exclude, if you don't want it to search for the specific thing you want it to exclude, you can put that here as well. Okay, so leave these two as it is. You don't need to touch them. So it's basically just this part, technically speaking, that you need to fix. That's what it is. So you press save like so, and then you go back to the folder that has it, that folder, and then you open back your I use WinRAR, guys, and then all you do is just drag it back inside, and then obviously replace it. Press OK. So if you see the date, you can see that the date is now the date for today, and then you just close this back. That's done for you now. Now you name this back into the Sims 4 script like so. You change it back, and then you put this back into, and then put this into your mods folder. So now when you load into game, this will work, and it will start searching for any tuning errors that you might have. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys an example because I don't have an example personally. I can't go into game and show an example because there's no tuning errors in my game right now. But the good thing is this file comes with examples. So I'm going to show you guys an example and try to explain it as I can. So, okay, it's just AI everywhere. Okay, so this is an example of what will pop up. So when you get into game, if you have any notification errors, it will pop up on the side, literally like a notification to tell you this is an error, and you will tell you to view the log. When you view the log, this is the kind of errors that can come up. So this one, it attempted to load a value from an instance. This is going to be your tuning ID. So this is going to be your tuning ID. That, and then it's going to say the name of the actual tuning, like so. So tuning ID, and then the name. So that's what it's going to say. And it's going to tell you the type is an interaction, and it's because this thing is not it's not tunable anymore. So you have to go into game and see what's changed, what has EA done that suddenly this error's popping up. Yeah, and then this is another one, for example. So this is, it expected a U, it got a T. So when it says that, this is what it means. So sorry guys, so let me show you guys. So let's say, for example, because EA did one recently, but I can't remember what it was. Actually, I think I do. I think it was how objects are done now. I think it was this. I'm trying to remember what EA changed. But it was something like this. I, honestly, for life, I can't remember. So I went into my game. My Sugar and Spice came up with errors, telling me that there's an error with this. It expected, I can't remember what it expected, but it got this instead. So what that means is, it expected a U, it got a T. That means the game was expecting to say a U. Let's say, for example, this, right? It starts with a U. These are all tunable, guys. That's a scripting language. So it starts with a U, but the game was expecting a T. It won't tell you, it might not tell you specifically which one it is. Actually, it does. The tuning thing is actually quite specific. Actually, it's quite specific, so you will know where the error is. So you'll be like, oh, so it's expected a U, but it got a T. So you have to just go into your file and change this into a T, for example. And then you save it. You go back into game. You see if that error pops up. It doesn't. Issue fixed. Okay. Other examples. So there's examples in here if you guys want to see how it works and stuff. If you expected something, it got something else, or if you've added something that is not part of that tuning class, it will let you know. That's what this means. It means it's no longer part of that class. So basically just read through the example and it will show you what kind of errors you need to your errors you might encounter. So another way of checking Builder by Lot 51 core that I use, guys. So when a new patch comes out, Sims 4 sends out this thing called literally the TDES. Literally, that's what it sends out. It sends it out to they send it out in the forum and in the Discord, so the modders can then download it to see what has changed. I'm going to show you guys that later in the video on how that's done. So Lot 51 also gets that, and they incorporate that into their tuning, into their website. So whenever something has changed, there will be an arrow next to it to let you know that it's changed, or something like this. There you go. A new one was introduced, and it will show you where. Okay, so it will be an arrow, or an arrow is there's like two. I think there's an arrow and there's that green stuff, so it will let you know this has changed. So if you, for example, were to go into the game and then into your game and you'd be like, oh, it expected you, but you got this, and you're confused as to what that means, you can then go into, you can see that this is an object rewards, right? And that's a loot action. So let's go, for example, I would then search for a loot action, and then I can go to object. I think it was a create object rewards, like so, and then I can look here and see what has changed in the tuning, and then I just adapt that to my game. Okay, I just see what has changed and I'd be like, okay, that's changed, and then I go into my coding. I can either copy and paste it, or I can just import it. I can import my own and then change it directly in here and just copy and paste it into here, or save it, whatever you want to do. So that's another way. But obviously if you're doing this way, you will have to wait for Lot 51 to upload it. If you don't want to do it manually yourself, you'd have to wait for Lot 51 to manually to upload it, and then you can then do that. Another way is if you know that the patch has changed because, for example, there's a new game pack or anything like that. If Lot 51 has updated this, you can search for one of the new features of the game pack and see what might have changed. So another example I've got for you guys is with the life and death. Let me see if I can find, let me think of a career. With life and death, something changed where here I got an error with all my career mods, and I have a lot of career mods, because now you can call for bereavement. You can call for time out of work if someone's passed away and you want to call and you want to use one of your PTO for bereavement. That was added in, and the tuning editor did not catch that because there wasn't an error in my game, in my code. It was just missing a whole new feature. So the tuning edit this only catches tuning errors from what's missing, from what's in your code, sorry. If there's anything new that you haven't had added into your code, it's not going to catch that. So you do still need to do some manual work. You can't expect everyone to do everything for you. So, and this is where the last exception is going to happen. So last exception will catch the fact that you've got this career, but you're missing something. And the only way it will catch that is if you play the mod out. So obviously I played one of my careers, and then I was getting an error. I was getting last exception. I didn't know what, and I was like, what's going on? Only to find out that you can now have bereavement as a reason for missing work. Let me see if I can find that. There you go. So this is new. This was added with life and death. So this was added with life and death. So then I had to go to all my career mods and add this new thing to every single one of them. Otherwise you would be getting a last exception. You would not get a tuning error, which I call it a 10. I'm just going to say that again. So if you won't get a 10, you will get a last exception with that. So you still do need to play through your mods, guys. Don't rely on 10 catching everything. Also, don't rely on last exception catching everything. You do still need to play through your mods to catch what it can. Obviously, you don't have to play all the way, but the most important interactions in your mods, I would advise you to play it and then see if you catch any errors or any last exceptions or anything like that at all. So that's another example. So I then had to obviously add this into my careers, and then I went back into game, played it, no errors, everything was fine. Uploaded it, told everyone my mods are working. Boom, bam, bam. So what are the ways that you can find out what's been updated, what's been changed, how you can compare all of this stuff? I use a Discord. I'm gonna show you guys the Discord. So I use a Discord called Creators Musing. And whenever there's a new patch, you will get if you join them, make sure you've request to be part of a modder thingy. But for you to do that, you will need to show them that you've actually created something. So you can't just join for the sake of joining. You do have to create something. Okay, so once you've joined, you obviously need to be verified as a modder and stuff like that. You just need to have made at least one mod, guys. Literally just at least one mod. If you go down to the modding area after you're giving yourself the role, there's something called patch changes here. A new one is created every time. So you guys can see here, there's so many. So the most recent one is the Enchanted by Nature. As you can see here. Sorry, the most recent one is not the Enchanted by Nature. The most recent one is the Glam. And this one took everyone by surprise because everyone's like, it's just a kit. Nothing's gonna break. Oh, everything broke. But yeah, this is maintained by Mizori Yuki. So this is the TDX I was talking about. So you can download that if you wanted to, and then you can see all the comparisons, right? And then you will see, it will show you here what the differences are, the scripts comparison if you're someone that's interested in knowing what the scripts are, or what the but this is where you go to if you want to know what the XML changes are. I'm going to show you guys. I just need to react to it. Okay, I got it to show. I got it to show. So this is basically what the changes are, what's changed, and it's a big file. You can go through each thing if you wanted to. It will tell you so what differences are between the file that was there before and the file that was there now. So some changes are not a lot, honestly to God. Some changes are not that much, but if you feel like this is relevant to your mod, you can obviously download the TDESC file and then compare the changes. And yeah, this is basically what they changed during the kit patch that just came out recently. So you can do that just to see what's changed. Something's changed in career levels. So that's definitely something for those of you that do careers. Something's changed with some of specific buffs as well. Something's changed with specific balloons. And the changes could be something as small as a spelling mistake, or something as small as adding like an extra number. Who knows what year changes? Like, honestly, guys, I don't go through every single change because it's not relevant to my mod. But you can obviously go through. So you can see here, random loot, this has changed. So if you use something like this, if you, for example, if you overwrite this kind of mod, you would then have to see what's changed in the file. This is because of two things apparently is changed. One thing, careers, we know stuff has changed, career levels. Yeah, so you can go through and then see what has changed. Because I don't want to deal with the headache of trying to manually see what's changed, I wait for Law 51 to update the website, and then I go and see what's changed there. And Law 51 can be quite quick with updating that website. So this is relevant for those that want to know it. I'm going to show you guys the script as well for those of you that are interested in script files. But just honestly, this doesn't even, honestly, guys, you don't need to know this unless you feel like you really want to know it. But like I said, if you go to the patch changes, this is going to be on here, and then you can see what's changed. And then we're going to have a discussion thread as well for people to discuss the changes. And the discussion thread is actually where the most relevant informations take place. So let me show you guys here. Okay, so then this is when the patch change happened. And then what changed, someone noticed that EA, because you can, with what I just showed you guys, the script changes, they went into the actual script to see what is it that EA added. and then realized that EA has added some new stuff, some new arguments, as you like to say. You guys don't need to know what this is because you were not dealing with the scripts directly. And then what we had to do, people that add the old argument had to add the new argument because they were getting errors. So I'm going to show you guys. Someone then mentioned it here. Here. So they just need to add these two arguments, and basically these two is one needed to be added to whatever injection was given the error. You obviously then save that, you go back into your game and everything's groovy. So that's what needed to be fixed with this one. As you can see, they just need to add it. They needed to add this to the function. That's literally all they needed to do in regards to fixing so any script files that is sending you back to your, so for those of you who play with mods, any script file that's sending you back to the home screen is because they haven't yet updated this yet. The people that are still getting that kind of error sending it back to the home screen, is because those script files have not been updated. So if you use mod constructor, because that produces script for you, for those of you that use mod constructors, I would definitely, honestly, I'm not gonna lie guys, if you're watching this video, move away from mod constructor. Try to create this mod yourself. I know it can seem intimidating, but really it's not. Like, just watch my videos and see how I moved, because I used to use mod constructor. Just watch and see how I moved away from it. Literally, it's not hard, guys. Like, you save yourself so much a bigger headache. But if you use mod constructor 5 was updated to fix the error, but mod constructor 4 was not. So if you created your mod with mod constructor 4, you're still gonna get that error unless you manually change the script yourself, or you move to lot 51 or XML injector. Okay, that's how I go through what's changed. I obviously go into my game, play my game, manually see what has changed, whatever's pop up using 10, using the last exceptions. And then once I see what has changed, if there's something I don't understand or I want to understand it a bit more, I go into the discussion because literally when there's a patch, guys, a lot of modders are just like, what's going on, guys? What's going on? So you can see what's broken, and then the community is quite useful if you guys actually talk to them. As you talk to them, you realize that the community is quite useful. A lot of people are helping each other, trying to figure out what the problem is. And then you just need to go into here. You can even ask me, like, guys, I'm new, I'm modding, I don't understand what this error means. What do I need to do to fix it? And they will explain it to you. And then you just, if you want to do it yourself, you just have to read it, see what's changed, see what do I need to add, what do I need to take away, what has EA changed. This is where the discussion takes place, and discussion is also where you're most likely going to find the answers to all your questions. So once you've done all of this, you've now saved it. One thing I forgot to mention at the start is when I'm doing all these errors, I don't save, I save as. Okay, guys, so when I fix whatever issue that I need to fix here, for example, and I go to file, save as. The reason why I say this is, guys, always keep a backup. You don't know what changes you're making. And obviously there are people out there that still want to use like the old version, or you might even want to keep your old versions. So save as, and then play with that new version in your mods folder. So don't just go to save as. And then once you save it as, for example, I've got my troubleshooting. This is the TDESC. You guys can see I've done a bit as well. Just for example, you can just put testing and then save it somewhere. Let's save it here, for example, and then you can then test that in your mods folder instead of just overriding what you've done, because now that's the one that's saved. As you can see, sugar and spice testing. So now you can edit this to as whatever length you want to edit it to, and then you will continue using that. Once you've sorted that out, you can then save it as sugar and spice version 1, version 1 point something, version do versions, guys. I know some people don't like doing it, but if it's a small change, you don't need to do versions. Like a spelling mistake, for example, that doesn't need versions. But if it's a big change, I would definitely advise you to have versions, so that way you, even if it's not for anyone else out there, you can keep track. So it's good for you to keep track of your old files, but also for you to know what's changed, what has not changed, and you're not overriding anything that you can't go back on. Because with with Sims 4 Studio, I'm not sure how far back you can Control Z, because I don't use Control Z on Sims 4 Studio. And sometimes if there's something you like, oh, I don't want to do on here, for example, use your VS Code, paste it on here, do whatever you want to do, copy it, paste it back on here. But always just, or and then you can obviously then save this file, so you always have this, like if you have a folder, because I have a folder of my documents, like it's just let me shoot, and like it's got files, and look at this file. I'm sure you guys will wanna, this is what one of it looks like. You know, so I have all of this as well for every single mod, guys, including my big mods. So with my big mod is a bit more organized. I've got for the you can see for the modules, each one has got a handful of files inside. So it's just organization. Organization is very important when you're a mod creator. Especially if you're one that if you want to upkeep your mods, definitely organize it as much as possible. Don't overwrite anything, because you never know what old file you might need and when you might need it. I'm trying to think of what else I've missed in regards to what I do when I am testing. Oh yes, as you are making changes, make notes of it somewhere. It can be Notepad, it can be on here, it can be on Word. So always have a change log, that you know what's changed. And if you need to write a Patreon post about it, a Twitter post about it, whatever it is, you will know what it is you're writing. So always make a change log to see, for example, so fixed adventure moments because EA developer learnt how to spell, for example. Or you could be like added bereavement leave due to life and death changes, whatever. Always keep a change log. Even if you never release this kind of change log, you will know what it is that you've changed, so you're not always second guessing yourself as well. So always write a change log. And the final thing is when you're uploading your changes to Patreon, whatever changes you've made that you feel like, oh my God, this one needs to explain, try to write it as clear as possible. Clear instructions as to what's changed. That's what the change log is for as well. Even if you're not doing like paragraphs, this is fine. People that are reading, read it. People that won't. And I mean, we all know what reading is like in this community, guys. So it is what it is at this point. And then that's it. So tips that I can give you guys in regards to patch days. Don't panic. Don't panic, okay, guys? A lot of changes are not as daunting as you think. You don't need to rewrite your code. You do not need to rewrite your code. The changes that EA do, they're not so groundbreaking to the point that you have to rewrite your code. I have yet to do that at all. I have no reason to. Patch days for me, I just dread it simply because I don't want to stop playing my game. I have to wait for other modders to finish modding before I can play my game. So that's the reason why I panic on patch day. My mods don't make me panic. I do not panic. So don't panic. What's it called? If you have a big mod, try to keep it as modular as possible. Like you can see with my Sugar and Spice one, I'm a fashion designer one as well. And a few other mods that I might end up doing, that it helps you to break it down so that if you need to make any errors, you will know which modular you need to change, which one needs to be updated, which ones don't. So it just helps you stay as organized as possible. Use versions if needed, obviously, if it's a big one. This helps with easier updates. So you'd be like, so if someone comes for help, if someone that has not updated as the new version, and they come to you, be like, I've got this error because of that. You can ask them, what version of my mod are you using? And they'll be like, I'm using the new version 1.67. and you'll be like, but you haven't updated, so why are you using 1.67? Go back to using 1.66, that kind of thing. So try to use versions, and also don't rush. People that are using mods will wait. Okay, people that are using your mod, they will have no choice but to have patience and wait. And it's better for you to work on your mod. For example, when EA releases a patch on in the UK, it's 6 p.m. Sometimes I just came back from work. I am exhausted, I am tired. I do not have the energy to go through all my mods, because I have a lot, and try to update whichever ones that need updated and then release it for people to continue playing. I wait until the next day, because I would rather have a fresh mind when I'm updating my mods than to rush it, because then I could release something that's still broken, and then people will be like, you've updated but it's still not working. So don't rush yourself. Okay, it's better to update with a clear mind than to update with a unclear mind, with a foggy mind. Okay, guys. So people that are needing your mods will wait. It's as simple as. The final tip is use the resources mentioned. I cannot stress this enough. Use the resources I mentioned in this video, guys. Like, if you feel like, oh my god, what's changed, what's going on, I don't know what to do, it's because you're not using the resources mentioned, babe, darling. You're not using the resources I mentioned in the video. Okay, so use the 10 editor, use it the way I just showed you guys how to use it in game. Okay, so make sure you download it, you zip file it, you unzip it, you unzip it, and then you the script file, you rename, you change the name, blah blah blah, all of that stuff. Use lot 51 once it's been updated. Use the Discord, I will link the Discord below. Use it. Modders are extremely helpful in that Discord, but before you ask for help, make sure you've at least tried something, guys. They're not gonna hold your hands to show you how you do it. If you see yourself as an actual modder, you need to show the working. Okay, you need to show that you actually attempted to do this thing, but you're just getting nowhere. Okay, so use that Discord. I use that Discord. I don't talk a lot in it, but if I need help, I use it. The search function on Discord, especially on that Discord, has been so useful, because I'll find information from 2022, for example, and it's still relevant to what I need to do. So please, guys, even if you're not using it for updates, you're just using it because you're starting to mod, use that resource. Okay, guys? Yeah, so that's literally just a quick little recap, because that's literally all I can say in this video. Is patch day can only be stressful if you make it stress for yourself. Okay, but with everything I just spoke about in this video, patch day should be as easy as cake. Okay, cake is not easy. Patch day should be as easy as falling in love in Sims 4, because that's easy. Okay, so if you use the resources and you use what I tell you to do in the video, do what I do in the video as well. Keep versions, don't overwrite stuff, you'll be fine. Okay, you will be able to go for a patch day like that. Okay, guys, so updating your mods is not as hard as it is. Okay, and I'm gonna encourage you guys, because it's like modding is, especially in this community where everyone's rushing you, don't let them rush you, please, guys. Please don't let players rush you, because you're modding because you enjoy it, right? So try to just don't stress. Don't stress. There's nothing to stress about. Like I said, use the resources mentioned, or if there's anything that I've missed out that you feel like, oh, Danity, like you need to have this when you're updating, let me know. Honestly, let me know. But yeah, that's literally it, guys. Like, you'll be fine. Patch days are not as bad on modders as it's annoying. Some of the changes that EA does as a modder is annoying. However, you have to keep in mind that they are trying to improve their game, and it's up to us to then, what's it called, get on their level as well. Okay, guys, so we are modding we're using ES resources, so we then have to follow whatever ES is doing with those resources. Okay, and that is it for this video. I'll see you in my next video. I don't know when that's gonna be, because I'm currently working on like 2 mods at the moment. It's gonna be a busy few months for me, so I don't know when the next video is gonna be, but I promise I'll be back eventually, guys. I'm so sorry I'm leaving you guys with such a big gap in between. Subscribe, guys. Check my website, my Patreon, join my Discord if you need help with modding, guys. I do help with people that want help with modding. I have a modding section on my Discord, so if you ever feel like you need help, I have a modding section here. Okay. If you need help with anything modding related, okay guys, you can just pop into here and I'll be able to help you. As you can see, I've been helping a few people already, so just pop into my Discord and I'll be able to help you. Okay, everything I've mentioned will be linked in the description below. So yeah, I never know how to end this video, but bye guys. See you next time.